Susana, I have two questions for you. My first question is, did you make any audio recordings of the people you interviewed, or did you just simply take lots of notes? And my second question is, what decisions did you have to make ultimately in structuring all of the information you collected? How did you come across the sequence of chapters that you included in your book?
Those are very good questions, actually. Thank you. So regarding the first one, it's interesting because I actually did both. I started by taking notes. Actually, in fact, I started by meeting the people and taking notes after talking to them. So not while I was with them, but just from memory. Then I did take some notes as I was visiting them, and eventually, but I was seeing a lot of people. So the first trip I did, although the book is written and the first part is written as if it's only one trip, I went there several times. And the first trip I did, I was shadowing the healthcare team. And so I was meeting a lot of people. I was going to lots of houses, seeing lots of families, lots of patients, etc. And I was having first contact. I was starting to get to know their stories. And then after a while, I felt like I needed to go in depth into some of these stories so I could actually have a better understanding of how they were dealing with with illness, with facing death, etc., in a different way. So what I did was that I chose a few families to interview in depth and to spend more time with. So then I went back to Trás-os-Montes just to spend time with these few families that I chose. There were 4 of them, and in the book, actually, there are only 3 that have that kind of, in-depth presence and weight in the book. And so I just spent a lot of time with them, and then I did recordings on tape, well, on iPhone. And actually, it was the fact that I recorded it that gave me the idea to use their voices directly. In the second part of the book, there are transcripts of their voices, but of course it's transcripts that are heavily edited into what becomes a kind of a narrative or a dialogue in case of the couple, the old couple. And but the fact was that when I was listening to the interviews, that I was listening to them, and as Francisco mentioned regarding the translation, it was really challenging because their voices are, the way they speak is so beautiful. It's so particular. They use expressions that people don't use anymore, but that are particular from that region or from their generation. But some of these like idiomatic expressions are really poetic, like this. I don't even know how it was translated, but I think in all the translations this came up. There's this old man, he says, when he's telling about how he left Angola, how he decided to leave Angola and get back to Portugal because of the war. He says, my son came to me and he said, "Dad, our chest isn't made of bronze." And this is beautiful, rather than saying, we can get shot.